more on this with General Jack Keane.
Morning.
General, let me just set you up with President Trump talking about what could be hit or not in Iran.
We're not attacking at the highest level. The highest level of the bridges, which we can knock down. I would say in one day we knock down every single bridge in Iran. There's not a thing they can do about it. Their electric manufacturing facilities, right? Their electric plants where they make their electricity there. We will, if we have to, we'll take them out. I don't want to do that, but if we have to, we'll take them out. They have desalinization plants. We'll take them out if we have to. I hate to do that. That's probably the one I would like not to do least.
General, your sense of where we are right now on this?
Well, clearly we got violations of the ceasefire here now repeatedly, and the United States is not going to stand for that. You know, for our audience to understand, when Iran looks at the Straits of Hormuz, they really see that as a strategic asset. And controlling that is equivalent in their minds to having nuclear weapons. And I'm not over exaggerating this. And the reality is, why is that? Because it gives them significant strategic influence in the region, geopolitical blackmail in a sense. It gives them leverage to bend the nations in the region to their will if they're controlling the flow of oil out of the Gulf. That's the reality of it. Their strategic objectives from the outset have been what? One, dominate and control the Middle East. Two, control the distribution of oil out of the Gulf, destroy Israel, drive the United States out. So right from the initial objectives for 47 years, the control of distribution of oil has always been a strategic objective. And that is why we're witnessing a modified battle for the Straits of Hormuz here. And they are not going to give in to this, in my judgment. And it will likely lead to return to major combat operations because it means that much to them. And I think the reason why the MOU had this ambiguity in it that we all looked at and said, what, that doesn't make any sense. Remember, the Straits would be open immediately. We would release the blockade. But then in the written description of it, in 60 days, Iran and Oman can begin discussions about administration and services with the Straits. And that smacked of what? That smacked of giving them some kind of control. It didn't make any sense. But I think the Iranians insisted on that kind of language in there, or there wasn't going to be a deal. Don't know the facts of that, but I'm speculating here. But it just shows you how important this is. That ambiguity is in there, in a sense, gives them some leverage here to what they're doing, except for firing on ships. Once they fired on ships, that obviously broke the ceasefire and entered President Trump and the action he's taken here. He is not going to put up with this. And at the same time, we're going to continue to move ships through the Straits, which we are doing right as we speak. And that is a form of distribution of oil that's continuing. Likely to be some slowdown because of the hostilities to a certain degree. But this is a strategic asset, and the Iranians, I'm convinced, will dig in their heels over this.
So let me come back to that traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. Here's what your group, Institute for the Study of War, concludes. Iran's attempting to stop Western and Gulf efforts that could weaken its ability to use the Strait of Hormuz. Iran recognizes that if it fails to attack these vessels, it will lose the Strait of Hormuz as a tool of leverage. And I think that point is really obvious now. Here's the rub. Already today, 7 vessels went through the strait. And 1 took the Omani route, which is the safe route. 3 went through the middle, which is where they've been doing for years. But 3 others took the Iranian route, meaning that they went along the coast of Iran. And I was looking at the numbers from yesterday, the same route, General, the greater majority of vessels bent to the Iranian will. So they go up along these small little islands along the Iranian coast, and I just wonder, from that perspective, are the Iranians winning that issue?
No, they're not winning it, but they're certainly exercising some level of control that is not permissible, according to the memorandum of understanding. In other words, they're telling those ships where to go, when to go, and I'm told they're paying insurance, and likely eventually it's going to be fees. And that's what they've always wanted from the beginning. control over the Strait, so all the Gulf producing states and those who are trading with them understand that Iran has this kind of leverage. That gives them this huge geopolitical influence in the region to deal with other issues having nothing to do with oil distribution. And that is a prize that they've always wanted. And we cannot let them have it, that's for sure.
General Jack Keane, thank you so much. We are expecting much more news as the president's press conference gets underway in Turkey. Thank you.
Thanks.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.